What's going on, YouTube? Wax Pack Fanatic coming at you here. Doing something a little different today. We're going to crack open a Topps Tiffany set, 1988 to be specific. So nothing huge in this set. We've got a GLAVINE we're going to pull out of here. There's a Bo Jackson, a Mark McGWIRE, some other cool stuff we'll take a look at. But this is a pretty laid-back video where obviously we're not hoping on the chance of getting something. It's here. That's the beauty of these Tiffany sets. If you're unfamiliar with what the Tiffany sets are, specifically, I believe there's about the Tiffany or Topps made 5,000 of each of these. So if you just think of the amount of 88 Topps that's out there, versus the Tiffany sets, and what that is that each card has a white back and a glossy front. So that's the difference. A little bit higher end card. Obviously, there's way less of them. So, excuse me, you've got that going for you. If you're looking for just rarities, a PSA 10 in a Tiffany is much harder to find than a PSA 10 of the regular. I promise you that. eBay will be a testament of that. So let's get into this. Obviously, it's still sealed here, so I'm breaking a 22-year-old seal. But we're going to open these up. Look through every card. Pull all the Hall of Famers to the side. When I'm done with this, I do take this and just sell off the complete set minus the stuff that I keep. So it's like a partial set for somebody that wants to, just, I guess, put it together the hard way, not buying it complete. But we're just going to get in here with a top loader. And there we go. And these cards have not seen the light of day in 22 years. Just going to pull right here from the middle. Let's see. They are not in numerical order, so it really doesn't matter where we pull from. So we got a little Gary Carter there. Really, like, I only pull the people that I feel would be PSA 10 candidates out of these. Second, that I think I can resell. So I might come across, there's a Rafael Palmeiro. It's top bottom, not centered, so I wouldn't send that one in. But I don't have a huge market for Palmeiro, and I don't think he'd do that great on eBay if I was to go send him off to get graded. But there's some people like you're going to be able to sell. We just passed a Wade Boggs that was a little off center. This whole set, I think I might be in trouble. Robin Yount, a little top. It's the top bottom on these that's getting me. And if nothing in here is gradable, at least PSA 10 worthy, we'll just sell the whole set to somebody that doesn't care about that kind of stuff and just wants the set, and we won't send anything off. But I find it unlikely that we're not going to find anything that I would care to send off. What I hope is, of course, the McGWIRE, the Bo Jackson, the Barry Bonds. I hope they are all really nice centered, because those are easy to sell. Like that Mike Schmidt looks really good. That one we're just going to lay here. So now we're seeing a few cards that are centered well. I do live in Braves country, so Dale Murphy stuff does really well. Little off center left to right here, so we'll just leave him in the set. But I'm a big Dale Murphy fan as a kid. He was a pretty cool dude to watch play. Okay. We'll pull the George Brett out of here for sure. If it's centered well. Mainly because I'm a huge George Brett fan. And yeah, the Darryl Strawberry we would probably pull out of here. Any of those 80s guys, Jose Canseco. Because they're just hot right now and they're selling. So, Trammell. There's our Barry. He's looking pretty good. So we're going to pull him. Kirby Puckett. Again, in one of my earlier videos, I told the story about how the first time I ever pulled his auto, he died the same week. That was pretty crazy. Pull that Cal Ripken out. Looks pretty good. And I'm going to pull these, and I will double and triple check them before I send them off, just to make sure. Because grading's not expensive at $10 a card. Because I only send them in if I've got 50 or more. It's the good thing about these set breaks is you pretty much, it's very easy to get 50 cards. There's a good Ozzie Smith. It's probably for sure a 10. The big one out of this is the GLAVINE. And I think he comes in this and not the traded. He might be in the traded. Tony Gwynn looks pretty good too. It's a little bit more here, but sometimes they're lenient on that, so we're going to just set that aside as well. And I wish I could just, I guess I could. I'll say I wish I could grade everything, which you'll end up spending a fortune. And some of these cards you're going to sit on for a while. You're not going to find a buyer overnight on Tiffany PSA 10s, but if you're like me and you love this guy, you want all his cards in PSA 10. Again, a little slightly off, definitely off top to bottom here, so we will leave him in there, sadly. Yeah, me and old George share the same birthday, so that is my May 15th. That is my attachment to why I've been a lifelong Royals fan. So, yeah, we're just going to go through here and we're going to pull all the things that I would want to get graded. And then these are usually pretty easy to get. To get 10s on because they're all fresh right out of the box. So as long as your centering's good, your edges are typically going to be perfect because they haven't been moving around in a pack for 20 plus years. So it's usually pretty easy. I think Bo's got a one of these cards in here too, like a leader card. Your Don Mattingly record breakers. We can pull that here. The Dwight Gooden's pretty good too. I'm just thrilled that the junk era is finally. People want it because these are the stud players. If you ask me, these are the guys that I grew up watching, and to me that I have the big attachment to. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I love to go back and watch Joe DiMaggio footage or the old Yankee stuff. But man, I don't. They were never on TV when I was a kid, so I just don't care, But I used to. If we rewind 20 years ago when I was a youngster, kind of a youngster. I was still driving, but, first getting into collecting. I would go back and watch that old Yankee stuff. like it was my job. But as I've gotten older, I've kind of grew further apart from caring. I love the history of baseball, but the 80s guys, 80s and 90s, that's really where I resonate. So yeah, you can find this Tiffany set on eBay for like $130 unopened. So that's pretty nice. 150, 160, something like that. And these cards, I mean, if you get them PSA 10, I mean, you'll pay for the purchase in just a few cards. So that's kind of nice. And then if it's anything like the, the 87 where you actually had rookies that people want to pay, if you get PSA 10s of those, we're talking, big money. So you can definitely turn a buck and get to look at some cool stuff that it's a lot more limited than the just regular 88 tops that most people don't care about. But you kind of attach a limited edition to it, 1 of 5,000 cards, and makes it a little bit more sought after. Because me personally, I only care about the Tiffany versions of a card if it has a Tiffany version. That's what I would want. The regular versions, whatever. Okay, so there's nothing crazy here. All these cards are stuck together. Did I just read some news about Dave Winfield? Let me look that up. I can't remember. I felt like somebody just died. Thankfully, it was not Dave Winfield. So I just felt like I just saw some news that we lost a Hall of Famer here recently. I don't. I guess the only thing about the Tiffany cards is they are all stuck together. There's the Canseco. Again, it's not centered top to bottom. Centered pretty good on the back, but I'll lay him out. But he's probably not going to make the cut. There's the McGWIRE. It's stuck together. And hey, that one looks pretty good. I can get behind that. Let's go ahead and put that one on a sleeve. It's maybe just slightly off center top to bottom, but it might be close enough to still pull the 10. Again, like I said, the good thing about these cards is they are all in really, really good shape. With the glossy finish, it kind of gives them a little extra added thickness to them. Yeah, I hated this Bonds. It's just it's more off center here to here. That's one of the good ones. There's a cool card for sure, Canseco and McGWIRE. So we'll definitely. So yeah, I think there's a 30 for 30 coming out this month. That's really gotten McGWIRE and Sosa stuff popular again. Kind of similar to maybe like the Last Dance thing did with the Jordan stuff. So that's pretty cool, I guess. I remember when all that was happening. A lot of people have different stances on how they feel about the steroid era. I feel it, as much as I get it, it made baseball really enjoyable to watch. So I don't stress out about it too much. Nothing going on here, really. So you see, I mean, it takes there's a bunch of cards in these sets. And they're not in any order. I don't know why they're not in order. We'll set that All-Star Mattingly out. Mattingly stuff's starting to pick up steam, too. People are starting to pay money for him. There's our GLAVINE. But it looks like that corner it's got something going on with it. It's centered really well, so it's got that going for it. But it looks like there's a... I don't know. We will find out. Stuff like this, if it comes back a 10, that's awesome. That's a home run, but it's still very sellable at a 9. So when you get into that 7 and 8 territory, that stuff just becomes... You'd be better off not having it slabbed. It's just like that in the comic industry. There's certain grades of books that on newer stuff, that if it's not a 9/8, you're in trouble. So let me get all this other stuff out of the way, just so we can the things that we're keeping for sure, that we know these are getting submitted. Again, there should be a Bo Jackson floating around in here. It's like one of the leader cards, my Royals leaders, because he was a stud. But they don't put any of these cards in any order, so you're just randomly looking through stuff to find it. Pretty annoying. Jim Leland. I remember watching the Marlins when he was their coach. I think they won the World Series that year. Pretty sure they did. He was their coach. Pete Rose manager card. Off center. Could you imagine how many baseball cards would be 10s if it's just they cut them like they do today, where things are practically always centered? Let me look up this Barry Larkin. What year was his rookie? I don't remember. Yeah, I I could just look it up. I mean, it's off center anyways, but look on the back. Okay, so 80, 86. I think I remember. It was sometime in the mid 80s. Ken Caminiti, didn't he die? He died of steroid use. I mean, died of a heart attack that they assumed was from steroid use. Is that right? If you know, tell me in the comments. I'm pretty sure he did. There's that Daryl Strawberry that has like something incredibly wrong with it. What in the world? It's like he's got like a mustache or something. Just a straight up cut across the card. Oh well, it's not worth much, but Strawberry stuff I think is he was just so popular in the 80s that it wouldn't surprise me if people don't start looking for his early cards because they're not very expensive. But that would probably get like a 3 for surface, so we're not going to send that one in. Again, all these cards are stuck together, so I apologize. There's the base set bow that is incredibly off center, of course. I mean, that is cut bad. Like, that's like $150 PSA 10. $200. That's a good one. But we'll leave it in there. All the Royals cards are miscut. Surprise, surprise. Let's look for that insert. And I think we will have hit just about everything out of the set that you want to submit. We've still got a lot to look through here. Again, if it was in order, this would be a short video. We're going on 22 minutes of me flipping through subpar baseball cards, but maybe they're in the same. I've got another one of these I got to open up. I won't do it on camera, but maybe they're in the same order every time. Surely to God, they're not just random. I don't know how they could guarantee you a set. Getting near the end here of the left side of the box. Still looking for that Bo Jackson floating around in here somewhere. His Bo stuff has just taken off in price. I don't really know why, outside of him just being a total badass. I don't know why. So there's the Greg Maddux. We'll pull that. Looks pretty decent, but I don't think we're looking at a 10. We're probably looking at a 9. This would be a Maddux second year card. No, this is, yeah, okay, yep. Okay, so got the Braves boys there. Some checklist cards. Al Leiter. Now the Royals leaders are not. It does. It's got Saberhagen and Brett on it. I'll lay that out there. McGWIRE record breaker. That one out. So again, I mean, if you're just looking for cards to pump up a 50 card submission, there's some stuff out of these that, if you get 10s in, people want them. I mean, there's no doubt that, how cool is that card, That Eddie Murray there. But this Nolan Ryan, I guarantee you a PSA 10 of that. Of course, this is not, but it's a card that people want. Okay. Keep on keeping on here. So there's the Ryan that looks really good. That's the back look. It's not centered. Sorry. Didn't realize I wasn't in frame. So, yeah, a little here to here. It's just off center. So we won't bother with it. So many cards not centered back in the day. Bobby B. Nothing. Still, I'm pretty sure that Bo Jackson card's still in here. That insert card that I'm thinking of, pretty sure it was 88 tops. Let's hope it's not here. Clearly there was something in this box where it got dropped, because that bond's right on top there. It's got some gnarly damage on it. This is the last stack. Some neat turn back the clock cards. Well, Tommy Lasorda. That one looks pretty good. I'll go back through and just make sure there's nothing that I missed, so we can get this in numerical order. Okay, so maybe I'm thinking of a different set. I swear there's a Bo Jackson insert where it's just him. I assumed it was Royals leaders, but maybe I'm wrong, because that had Brett and Saberhagen on it. All right, well, it took 30 minutes, but there is our Topps Tiffany set. The stuff that we will be submitting for sure. This Record Breakers McGWIRE. The base set McGWIRE card. I think, did we pull that, or was it off center? I thought that was one of the first cards we sleeved up. Yeah, duh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, so boom, there's that. And then the athletics leaders. So all the McGWIRE stuff we'll send in. And then, I mean, the big one out of the box you're looking for is a PSA 10 of that GLAVINE. Tuck in the Maddox there. And then I will send in this Royals card anyways, just because I'm a huge George Brett fan. The Don Mattingly's we'll probably send. I'll look them up just to see. The Barry Bonds, I think, is a little off center, so I probably won't send it. I'll double check the Canseco. But yeah, that is for sure the stuff that makes the cut. But here, this GLAVINE, I think there's a little bit more here than here, even top to bottom. So, we're probably looking at a 9 because it's the back. Yeah, so that's probably a 9. But other than that, I think these are fun to open. They're just higher end cards of stuff that's super common. So if you get 10s, you've kind of got something to put a chip on your shoulder because it is much harder to get. But thank you for tuning in. Again, we'll do some more videos later in the week of some actual box breaks and not just me opening up complete sets. But yeah, man, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and keep on keeping on. Good luck with your breaks, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.